Hello. Thought I was going to be in Ireland for the next video, but here I am back in the UK. I'm in Cheshire here. And you know, as you go through life, you're sometimes very lucky to meet people that make a difference. And in my job, I'm lucky enough to meet a lot of people. And I'm here with Andy Thornhill, who is one of those people that's made a bit of a difference. When we moved back to New Zealand, Andy was sending me videos pretty much every week, and I was sending him videos every week of the farm, and you know, you stay in touch, and it can make life a lot better. And I'm lucky enough to meet a lot of people like that in my job. So so yeah, I'm just over here with Andy. So hey Andy,
okay?
Thanks for having me, man. You're a split calving farm over here.
Yeah.
What sort of numbers in the autumn and the spring?
100 springs and 300 autumns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So about 25% of the herd as a spring. So yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are perhaps maybe 100% spring calving at the moment that are being pushed towards having a milk supply all year round and looking at split calving systems. And I quite often talk to them about a lot of the benefits they can have if they're in that sort of a 25-75 split, in that you do it as well, and of course you're predominantly autumn herd, and so you breed all your replacements into the autumn herd.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
you have a short mating block, and you drop cows into the empty cows from the autumn drop into the spring, and that supplies the spring block, doesn't it?
The spring block is all made up of runovers from the autumn.
That's right.
And they're just a 6-week block.
So the spring is also a 6-week block?
Sorry, the spring is only a 6-week block.
Yes.
The autumn is a 12-week block.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, we were chatting about that earlier on, that you've had 33 empty cows out of the spring block, and I just wondered whether a 6-week block is a bit short for the spring, which we need to have a chat about a bit more and look at that, because you know, like the more you drop out of that spring block, the more you need from your autumn block to drop into that, isn't it? The autumn block, year like this, pretty good, isn't it? It's been dry. I mean, not great for feed supply, but for calving cows outside.
Yeah, it's been excellent for calving cows outside.
Yeah.
The covers, even on this paddock, this is the second paddock we've used, what we shut up for standing hay end of May.
Yeah.
And there's not much here now, probably less than half what we'd expect standing hay.
Yeah.
So we've used a lot of hay bought in, which isn't cheap. And we use the hay that we buy in to slow them down or speeding up, depending how much. We've got 3 paddocks shut up for standing hay.
Yes.
5 hectare paddocks each, and we carve outside on them.
Yep.
And we use the hay to buffer how fast we're getting across them. So we've one more paddock left, and we're way past 50-60% carved now.
Yeah.
So we just keep them ad lib hay. The close 2 group come through the parlour every day for a little bit of cake and some magnesium flour, I think it's called, what we put on top of the cake. So they come in, and it gets the heifers used to coming through the parlour as well. They're all run together. Yeah. And we're just giving them 6 foot a day at the moment of standing hay. Yeah. Or whatever you'd call this sort of grass.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing with the standing hay, it's so variable, isn't it? And in a good growing year, you end up with a massive crop, and then in a year like this, it was, but at least nutritionally, it's probably not too bad, because it's been so dry that it hasn't. It's not short green stuff anyway.
No, they've carved really well on it so far. I remember 2 years ago we didn't buy any hay. We fed no hay in the field at all.
Right.
We had so much standing hay, it was massive, and we were just literally feeding them that and having them through the parlour for half a kilo of cake every day, the close 2s, and that was fine as well. But yeah, this year we haven't got as much feed on the paddock, so we bought quite a lot of hay. Yeah. Yeah.
So you got 50 or 60% calved. What was your start of calving date?
19th of August we started.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've so far had 1 milk fever or short of frost on. I'm not sure what she was.
Right.
So we've had 1. 2 or 3 days after she calved, she was down in the paddock, like with the milkers, and 2 or 3 withheld cleansings, but they were twins anyway.
Yeah, okay.
And so the touch wood and assist. So I don't want to speak too soon because we aren't done yet, are we? I would think we've assisted 2, maybe 3. You know, but the sex semen normally does come out all heifer calves, and they calve pretty handy anyway.
Yeah. But you're onto the Angus calves.
Just
now.
Angus now, yeah. So we've finished all the sex semen. It's just Angus now from here on in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which are hopefully easier calving, but yeah.
And how many replacements?
In this group was there?
No, like in how many heifer calves do you try and aim for?
We aim for 100.
Yeah.
And I think we've got 87 or something.
Okay.
Yeah. So a bit short.
Yeah, you were saying before you're using it's cost you about 3 straws per heifer calf.
That's what it's worked out at this time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is not great.
No.
No.
No. We need to look at the conception rates of sex semen.
Yeah, definitely.
And hopefully try and get these heifers that we're going to serve in another couple of months. Try and get them right.
Yeah.
A bit better. We've been perhaps been a bit mean on them. Like just we bring them back onto the platform and we serve them in the race by the parlour. You know, it's probably a stressful time bringing them from ground away on the platform. I don't know. We probably.
And what are they on for the winter then?
They'll be out on fodder beat after we've probably beginning of December. We'll put them on fodder beat, and once they're in calf, and we'll give them all a sex straw. And then once they've all had a sex straw, 2 or 3 days after they've been served, they'll go in a different group with the bulls, with the Angus bulls then.
Yeah.
And then that's it for them. Then they go off onto the fodder beat.
Yeah.
Fodder beat, grass and bales they get. Every day we move them.
Yeah, so we're working out before, we're trying to sort of aim for 8 kilos of dry matter fodder beat and 4 kilos of dry matter of bales offered at that time for those, isn't it? So so the great thing about this split block is that it gives you great flexibility with the grass, doesn't it? Like last year you had a lot of grass. I mean, there was a lot of silage cut off the milking platforms through the summer because just, you know, when these autumn cows are dry, there's so much growth that you end up with a lot of silage cut off the milking platform, whereas this year it's the opposite. Your average farm cover at the moment is 18-20 or something like that. It's low.
Yeah.
So at least it's given us the flexibility to now pull the autumns in at night and keep the autumns out by day, and the springs, like the whole idea is the springs have to stay out really as long as possible into the autumn. And then we try and manage the rest of it. The demand is managed by how much we give the autumns, isn't it?
I've seen it work well ever since I've been doing it, really. Like in the autumn, like now, it can come a bit crap weather or whatever. Well, you've still got them springs to keep and get your platform at the right stage in the autumn. And then in the spring, we used to carve on the 1st of February them springs, and we used to always end up bringing them back in the shed, carving them and back in the shed for a month or whatever. Well, the 20th of March for the last 3 years seems to have worked well, because your autumns can go out any time after Christmas or any time in the new year. If you get a dry few weeks, your autumns can go out for a bit in the day and keep on top of the platform.
Yeah, because they're sitting at 100% demand. I mean, you've got all that demand on tap. They don't have to go out.
No.
But you can manage the demand with the autumns. You know? So I mean, it does have its advantages. The difficulty would be that if you don't have enough feed on hand and you had a year like this, like even that's the concern at the moment, is that we're going in about a month early with the autumns, and even though there's a heap of feed on the self-feed clamp, having them a month early in by night is going to chip away at that a little bit.
It is, yeah. We're just very much dependent on this last cut now.
Yes.
When we measured the silage about a week ago, we're like, we're all sorted, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then a few days ago, we realised that these autumns need to come in because they're not getting enough grass outside.
Yeah.
We were buffering them twice a day, but it just wasn't enough for them.
No.
So we brought them in now a month earlier than what we would plan to do the maize at the beginning of October or end of September, leave it a week or so, and then we'd bring the autumns in and get them settled ready for service. Well, we're now beginning of September, 10th of September, 11th, and we're in a month early, aren't we? So they're going to eat some, so we're then dependent now on this last cut coming in quite nicely. Yeah.
I mean, it'd be worse if your support land hadn't supplied the kind of feed that you need anyway. But I mean, it's going to be tight enough anyway, isn't it? The way the season has gone. So, but you've done a lot of reseeding. What, 185 acres or so
in total? Yeah, 60
total.
of that is Westerwolds and Italian, because when I was ordering the Westerwolds and Italian 2 months ago, we literally had nothing and everywhere was brown and everybody was screaming for grass, and I thought, what can we do?
Yeah.
Maize looked like being early, which it has been really early. We did half of the maize on the 31st of August, which is crazy, and it was standing there dead in the field, so we've done the maize a month early. And I thought, well, if we can get an Italian and Westerwolds on 60 acres, hopefully that'll grow us something that if we're desperate for feed in the winter, we can zero graze it or bale it or graze it early, or there's lots of options, isn't there, to do with that.
Yeah.
But then the rest of it, we took on another little bit of land, so that some of that's all that's been reseeded, ready for the platform next year.
And yeah, doing a lot of mixed species in that.
Yeah,
so.
we put herbs into all of the ground that's come to us that's clean already.
Yeah.
There's another block of land away from here which I've just put straight grass in because it's not the cleanest.
Very weird, I mean, it's one thing with the SFIs, you know, you made use of the grants and everything else to do the herbalaise, but then there was a bit of ground you took on next door that had herbalaise in it, and every time the cows have gone on there, they've just absolutely just rocked, haven't they? And so the milk's gone up every time, which has probably convinced you that it's not a bad thing to have.
We've a block of 3 or 4 paddocks, and we've always ended up saying it seemed to graze it together, and milk can go up 2 litres a cow, no problem. Graze them 3 or 4 paddocks and come straight back off it, and they're straight back down that 2 litres a cow again. Nothing else changes every time they go on it. Every time they go on it. Yeah, it's been quite convincing in that respect. So and we've not been near it with the fertiliser for 2 years now.
No.
At all. It's just had 2,000 or 3,000 gallon of slurry, 2,000 gallon of slurry in the spring, and a bit through this. We haven't done any in the summer, but we will do a bit now. So just a bit of slurry on it, and amazing what that's grown. Amazing.
Yeah, been a huge success. So, no, very good. We better have another look around and go and see some cows.
Yeah. Are you videoing
so,
it?
I am videoing again, Andy, because we've just had a discussion, and Andy has made it very clear that he's not going to longer than a 6-week block in the spring. And it's great, because, you know, it's really important to understand that lifestyle comes into the whole thing as well, you know, and it's like 6 weeks, done and dusted, gone. Your autumn block is your that's your bread and butter, that's your main block, and it's bad enough having a split block. It's so much easier having a single block, like having all your cows in an autumn block, than having them split. But at least if you're going to have them split, you've got to make that secondary block as simple as you can. So I mean, if people that are 75% spring and 25% autumn, you're going that autumn block 6 weeks. So no, that's really good. Just having a look at the autumn cows here, and they're on pretty short covers, aren't they?
Very short, I think I measured the other day, this was under 2,000 when I measured. It looks always more from the side, doesn't it, when you're getting it?
Well, especially at the moment, because it's been so dry and it's so open. But nutritionally for these cows, it's so good for them to be in at night now, because it was just, they calved down nicely, they were rocking, and it was just hard on these short covers with a bit of buffer to fill them up, wasn't it?
It was. We watched them walk in last night. We'd planned to keep them in last night, but I watched them walk in last night, and all the ruminants were empty. You know, they'd been out all day. They were coming in an hour before milking to have a bit of buffer, but it just wasn't enough for them. You know,
I know. Good stuff. They look well now. So just having a look at the cell feed here. You're only just starting this. They just on the maize for the first day yesterday, weren't they?
Last night we brought them in for the first time at night time.
So the silage, you're just finishing off another clamp, feeding it inside at the moment, just putting it out with the loader, the grass silage, and so they get the maize out here. Only the maize at the moment. You're going to start, when you finish the other clamp, you'll start doing the grass silage as well.
What day is it? Thursday. Probably by next Monday we'll be finished. Finish the rest of that clamp, and we'll open up the self-feed grass silage then.
Okay.
We separated it. It used to be all one 300-foot long face. And this is the second or third full winter we've done with a separate maize. So we put rape in with the maize.
Yes.
We put 200 tonne of rape in, mixed it with the maize when we harvest it. And now when we want to, a month before we start serving, we'll bring the cows in on all the self-feed, and we can feed the maize a little bit faster.
Yeah, okay.
So they're getting a little bit more, because they'll go mad after the maize more than the grass.
And yeah, so you don't find it a problem. I mean, obviously the feed face for the maize is short for the number of cows you have.
Yeah.
So that doesn't become a bit of an issue then?
No, yeah, you would think it would be, but no, not. When I come check up at night time, this face is never packed with cows.
No.
And neither's the other face. There's loads of room for more. We have like 400 cows on this, 300 foot long, and I wouldn't want any less than that. If you go with less numbers than 400 on 300 foot, it starts going bad faster than you can eat it.
It's all right at the moment because you're at the low end, but once you get to the height, so what are you trying to go to? 2 meters high?
Yeah, 6 foot.
6 foot.
6 foot, whatever that is in meters.
Yeah, 1800. Yeah, 1.8. Yeah.
We have gone higher before, but that's when they're struggling to reach it, and you get a bit of waste on the top. Yeah. So
if you go much higher, you almost have to pull the top off and feed it separately, don't you? Because it caves in. And,
yeah.
I mean, I was hoping to do a bit of a separate video on this later. Once you're sort of halfway through it, I might come back and we'll have a look at how it's going, because I think a lot of people are interested in just, you know, the machinery side of it, how to keep the yard clean and everything. But I mean, once you're on the self-feed, the big thing is that your machinery use is reduced so much because the cows are just eating the face. Massively.
So easy. Like, we used to fill the load all up with diesel twice a week. Now we fill it up once a fortnight, once every 3 weeks in the winter. And all it's doing is scraping this yard once a day. Maybe twice a day when we've only got a short space. Like we're here, we've only got 10 or 15 foot light, but as we get further into it, it's once a day in the morning. We scrape the yard and that's it. And
so you're already sold on the self-feed?
Love it, best thing we ever did. Yeah,
so I mean, I just looking at the sheds, were they set up differently to do the self-feed? I see you sort of almost got a double passage in the shed closest to the self-feed.
We didn't set up for self-feed when we were building the sheds.
No.
But I did like to point, when I was building sheds, I was pointing them all one way, because I like things in a straight line, although they're not quite in a straight line. But the far shed gets more there's more cows nearer the self-feed when you come check up at night, obviously. But there's still cows lying furthest away, you know, and they seem to come along the passageways okay.
Rape in with the maize. Nothing in with the grass silage.
I've got a load of rape tipped in under the shed at the farm, and if we get a 5th cut, I will mix that load of rape in with the 5th cut, just to try and make it a bit more palatable, and a bit more nicer for them. Maybe dry it up a little bit if it's a little bit wet. But if it is too wet, we won't put it in the self-feed at all. We will put it in a separate clamp or bale it, and then we'll put the rape in with the parlour corn or something every time a wagon comes, because if you put bad silage into your self-feed, that will hinder you all the way through the year. You can't put bad stuff in here, and you've got to make sure that you're feeding it fast enough, 4 or 6 inches a day, you're getting through it fast enough, and you've got to sheet it up well. It's like a lot easier of a job to do all through the winter, but every job you do with it has to be perfect. If you let anything slip, the wire at the wrong height or the wrong distance, that is so important. It's easy to do, but you've got to come out with your tape measure and not guess it. You've got to be absolutely spot on really doing it.
So I mean, it's really important you have the right number of cows going through. Like, your feed face has to be relevant to the number of cows you have, and the height and everything else has to be just right for you to go through it at the right speed and everything else. You
can have more cows. The feed face is never. You can have more cows and go through it faster. And you'll need a longer clamp. But we plan to have 150-day winter and 6 inches a day, and that's the depth of our clamp. And we want it to be used every year. If we can.
I mean, it's been a really tough year for you here in Cheshire. It's been really dry. I mean, we looked at some of the reseeds, like the multi-species reseed that was done back in May, germinated about 3 months later, really, didn't it? And but you do have enough feed on hand for the winter. You actually even sold some of your standing maize.
I've ended up having. We thought we'd got a few acres too many of maize, so we've ended up selling it to a neighbour. I think we've got enough. although bringing the cows in at night now, like we have done a month early,
Yes.
might just make it a bit tighter.
Yep.
And it all depends on if we're going to get a cut in the first week of October. It's looking like there'll be the grass there. If I hope the weather's going to be there, that we can put it in here, and then we'll be safe like.
Yeah. I mean, that third cut, there's a space for the third cut there. We just looked at it.
Fifth cut, that'll be.
Sorry, fifth cut.
Yeah.
I mean, fifth cut. That's sitting about 2 weeks away from being cut. But I mean, even when you cut it, that's only going to be sitting at a cover of maybe 3,500 to 4,000 at the most. 3,500 to 4,000. That's what 2,000 in Irish terms. So really good quality. It's coming in somewhere around the 1st of October. So yeah, you might put that rapeseed meal in with that, and yeah, that'll fill that last space.
Yeah.
If you had kept that maize yourself, you would have had to put it in a separate clamp somewhere, would you?
Yeah. Yes, we would. Yeah. We've got enough feed space for rape, but this is the first year now actually, because we have around 100 spring calving cows. I say spring, they calve on the 20th of March.
Yes.
We always used to have to feed them down a barrier and have them in a separate shed, and it was a bit of a pain feeding them Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It was always Sunday night when they nearly ran out of silage, and do you give them a bit or not have enough, you know?
Yeah.
So we've set a self-feed clamp up for them springs now, down the side here.
Right.
And they're going to come out of the shed and self-feed, and they'll still have moppings up off this self-feed clamp.
Yeah.
Once or twice a week, you know, the odd ledge or anything we need to pull off, they can have down that feed barrier that they've already got.
Yes.
But we don't. It doesn't matter if there's none down that barrier, or if there's a fair bit down the barrier, because they've got that small self-feed clamp, and they'll be going dry after New Year, beginning of January anyway.
Yeah.
So we've made quite a stalky, lesser quality cut for them dry cows. Hopefully.
Yeah. So
that'll work.
So the spring cows are run separately at that time of the year. At the back end, they'll be like, I mean, obviously, you know, we've got them separate now, and they'll be kept separate right through to the end.
Yeah.
And then as dry cows, they'll be on self-feed.
Yeah.
On dry cow silage.
On drier silage, yeah, they will. But until about 3 weeks before calving, and then hopefully we've hopefully put the right amount of silage in that self-feed clamp, so that 3 weeks before calving, we'll then put them on hay, and we'll carve them cows onto hay.
Yes.
So we'll just put 5 bales of hay down that barrier, and they'll come off their self-feed. I don't like carving them on silage. Things always go wrong with our type of silage.
Yes.
If we try that.
Well, yeah. If you did the Irish 2-cut system, it might work, but with your 5 cuts, there's just no bad quality kilo of dry matter in your system, really, is it? So hay is the only thing that you can do to dampen it down.
Yeah. We always seem to like hay.
No, that's really good. Anything about the self-feed that for anybody thinking about doing it, that you can give them tips? I think that covers most of it, is making sure you have the right feed in it, going at the right rate.
Don't put crap in it. Do a lot of research before. It's handy to have somebody else close by, or a friend who you can copy, because it can easily go wrong. If you haven't got that attention to detail, and your staff haven't got that attention to detail, you're totally wasting time. You've got to have it absolutely perfect to get the good results. And if you're trying to get, I've never tried it, but if you're ever trying to get over 8,000 litres, I'm not sure it's the right system either.
No, okay.
You know?
Right, yeah.
I think anything below 8,000 litres, and 8,000 litres I think is achievable on it, with the right cows and stuff, but you know, there's horses for courses, and I think 7,000 or 8,000 litres is easily achievable with the self-feed. And so one person in the winter can come milking, you know, in the afternoon, one person will come and milk 480, 500 cows, and then he'll go around the back and feed the cows in 2 minutes, and move the fences 6 inches, and happy days, like you
Crazy,
yeah,
it's amazing.
You haven't started a tractor up or anything, you know.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's brilliant. Yeah, just one other thing, I guess, with the autumn block is that there's quite different targets, isn't it? Like your autumn cows' production target is quite different from the spring cows.
Yeah.
They run together for the summer in one mob. Obviously, they've just been split in the last week.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
So they run separately from now on.
Normally at the end of this month, as I say, when we bring them autumns in, we'll leave the springs out for as long as possible, and the autumns will come into the self-feed then.
Yeah. So what's the targets? More like 6,500 litres for the spring and 7.5 to 8 for the autumns.
Yeah, it was 7.2 last year, the average of them all, and that's what I think was the split.
Okay. And right now you're feeding 5 kilos cake?
Yeah.
To everything, isn't it? You know,
yeah.
so
yeah.
we're kind of hoping that if we, you know, by bringing the autumns in now, if we get good growth, you can drop the spring cows back again to 2 or 3 kilos in the next couple of weeks. But at the moment, grazing low covers pays to keep the 5 kilos into them and keep the demand down a bit. But overall, any idea sort of cake use per cow and the split of it between the autumns and the springs?
No, don't know that. Yeah, I don't want to drop the. I wouldn't want to feed much more than 5 kilos in the parlour to my autumns, because we've got so much. There's probably nearly 1.75 kilograms of rape per day going into them out the maize clamp.
Yeah.
So they're getting that outside, aren't they?
Yeah.
We might need to put it up a tiny bit, but I don't want to get up to this 7 or 8 kilos in the parlour.
So what do you
for the
peak at
autumns.
in the winter?
Put him?
So do you feed 5-6 kilos?
Yeah, because
right
we've got
through the
so
winter?
much outside.
Yeah.
Put in with the rape, and hopefully in the 5th cut we'll put another. There'll be another kilo
Yeah.
of rape coming in with
So
that.
you're getting a lot of protein coming in that way. So do you go to 20%, or do you sort of stay below 20% protein a year?
Last year we were on an 18.
Yeah.
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 We it's hard to tell till we've done the silage analysis and the maize analysis of across the board.
Yeah.
And once we've done them, got them back, we can then get a bit more accurate corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all very well planned, isn't it? You know, like what are you trying to set your average diet protein at then? Around the 16-17% or something?
17, yeah.
Yeah. No, very good. No, it's been very interesting. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Might come back when we're about halfway through that self-feed clamp and have a look at how that's going at that stage. I think it'll be interesting to follow that up, but certainly interesting to have a look at the split calving, and yeah, appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Yeah, so just another point that Andy said, he's had to shoot off, but just this is the self-feed clamp for the yearlings. So in the first winter, the yearlings come into the shed over here, and they're on the self-feed clamp as well. And so that's another really important part of it, is that when they come into milk in the first year, the cows are already used to the self-feed. So obviously the feed face is a bit lower on this to make sure that the yearlings are able to reach it. And the big thing about training them also, you were saying, is that you have to have that electric wire just a little bit lower, and also to get them to learn to eat above the wire, they even have to sort of hang weights on that front wire for a while, just to get them to eat above the wire. Like the cows, when they first start, they'll always eat below the wire, but it takes a bit to train them to eat above the wire. So yeah, really interesting. Obviously this is just left over from last year. This is what's being fed to the milkers at the moment, just to finish that clamp off, and then they'll start on the self-feed clamp. So yeah, really interesting to be looking at this hopefully again in a month or 2 months time. So I'll come back and we'll have a look at what the self-feed looks like at that stage.